while Leah was busy hunting down Hello Kitties at the rodeo.
I was chasing them down. I'm running them down. I was like on a horse, like running down the
lasso and everything.
They're like, no. Oh, it's sad. Coming to you from Crunchyroll HQ, this is the Anime Effect, where each week we bring you the news and the views of the shows you love. It's pop culture with an anime lens.
If you're new to the show, welcome, because it's go time. So sit down and get ready. We kick things off every week with some small talk before we explore what we're watching, and it's always something very good, so get a pen and paper ready. After detailing our watch list, we explore the week's top anime headlines before diving right into our main segment.
And of course, before we wrap, we have to do everyone's favorite thing, y'all. Fan service!
It's crazy that you think people will have a pen and paper on them.
Go find one.
Open your notes app, boys.
I mean, I have a pen and paper on me.
Bring it out. Let's see.
No.
That's what I thought. Hi, I'm your host, Leah President.
It's your boy, and it's a very big day for me, Lee Alec Murray.
I stole Nick's chair in his life. I'm Alex Level.
His chair and his life.
And his life. Yeah, I mean, where is he? He's not here to defend himself.
I got him.
And together, we are here once again to see just how powerful the effect of anime really is.
Someone went to the rodeo this weekend.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw! And I didn't know we were going to talk about this on the episode till yesterday, but yes, that's right. I went to the rodeo. And so ever since I moved to Texas, because I am not from Texas, I was like, you know what? Just for fun, we got to do some like Glenn Campbell like activities, you know what I mean? We got to go see the rodeo. And so this is the first time I've actually gone.
Oh, really?
And it was very interesting. They did the bull riding, the whole yard, which I'm not sure if it's like ethical or not.
Yeah.
I don't know what the conclusion on that is.
Don't think about that part.
But I was mostly there to win prizes or be won prizes. I got 2 Hello Kitties from one of the carnival games. It was the one where you like shoot water into the thing and like
and the balloon explodes.
And funnily enough, okay, so like you're supposed to shoot. Nothing exploded. However, it was raising something.
Yeah, but you got to shoot the target.
And it was like a little minion. Yeah. I'm not even kidding because we were talking about minions just off screen a second ago. But it was like a little minion toy that was like getting raised higher and higher. And yeah, I felt spiritually connected to the minion and therefore won 2 Hello Kitties. We can put a photo in here. I've got some pics with it. But it was really fun. Are you guys going to go to the rodeo?
I haven't been to a rodeo in like 20 years. My dad used to take me to they used to have black rodeos where I grew up, like in Kansas City and like the Midwest. And we used to go to those all the time.
I'm actually reading a book right now from a local author who talks about like black athleticism and rodeo and how it like a lot of the times like predates other like athletes who we consider some of the like landmark black athletes. Like there was like, I don't want to misquote it, but there was like a championship rodeo that was won like by a black athlete the year that Jackie Robinson was born.
Oh wow.
And so it's like, wow, it's like such an unsung athletic thing in the black community, so it's very cool.
And if you have and I can remember as a kid, like if you haven't been to like just a rodeo in general, it's a time. Yeah, it's incredible.
They were selling them fried Twinkies. I saw a couple turkey legs down there that had some tacos, some lemonade, and boy, I was litty. Fun.
Yeah. The food isn't like as expansive as going to like the state fair, right?
Which also has a rodeo.
But it's state fair evocative, you know.
But you know, you also get your kicks, you know, and the state fair is coming up very soon.
That's the rodeo I go to because they have something in the arena I think every day or towards the second half of the fair. So that's the rodeo I'm looking forward to. I'll probably like pass out in the seat after I have 5 funnel cakes and some fried concoction.
Yeah. While Leah was busy hunting down Hello Kitties at the rodeo.
I was chasing them down. I'm running them down. I was like on a horse, like running down the
lasso and everything.
They're like, no. Oh, that's sad.
Dragon Ball is getting its very own theme park. It's the first of many on the board, so we're going to talk about theme parks in today's main story. So
Yes. France.
is getting DBZ inspired theme park, and Chainsaw Man is returning to Universal Studios Japan for 2026, following other themed park spotlights like Jujutsu Kaisen, Frieren, One Piece, Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan, Evangelion,
A revamp
Spy
happening.
Family. Like it's all happening. I think the anime theme park thing is so cool.
Yeah.
Why is it never us?
It's never us.
It's never us.
I had the opportunity the first time I went to Japan because I went to USJ, and they still had the Jujutsu Kaisen activation for Halloween up, and it was this absolutely incredible like AR VR like experience, and like everybody's like in this big theater, and you're
Didn't
all
they have like gummy
interacting.
Sukuna fingers or something like that?
I don't remember.
I remember that
think
like
that was
someone
unofficial. I
came
think that
out
was
with
just
like
a guy.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
just,
okay.
it's just a guy.
He was just like, "Hey kid, eat this
He
finger."
had a trench coat.
Yikes. What's your boy and stranger? Yeah, no, it was just on top of like Universal being incredibly fun in itself. Like went to Super Mario World. But that activation was super great, and it really like was kind of like a moment where I realized that like how much theme parks had changed and like the kind of activations they get.
Yeah.
Because when I was going to theme parks like growing up, it was like roller coasters and nothing. And that was it. And I was like, bro, what if I don't want to get on a roller coaster or the weird like death shoot Superman ride? Like, what if I don't
Oh,
want to
I got
do
some
that?
stories about the Six Flags.
But this is like this proved to me that you can have a lot of fun in a theme park, like doing like different like activations. So that was like super duper cool. If you guys are ever in Japan at any point, please go to USJ. Spend a whole day there. You'll have a ton of fun, and hopefully you'll be around when they do activation. And I feel like the activations happen pretty frequently for USJ.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many options. Like all these titles that you listed, they could each have 5 or 6 different styles of activation.
Sure.
So no wonder they keep going back to the well, because
Yeah.
there's just it's so
Just so
untapped
much
and
fun, yeah.
in terms of experiential like types of things that you can do at a theme park rather than a roller coaster. Like it's limitless, and it's so exciting. And I assume they're not doing it here because this would be too much for people to have like a super immersive JJK experience so close to a Margaritaville. That's like too many good things.
I was gonna say, can the American audience handle it without like
don't know,
literally
man. I
like
don't know.
what is it that one robot that like went to Detroit and got destroyed? Do you know what I'm talking
it was
about?
Philly.
Oh, yeah.
It
Oh,
was
Philly.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like they're gonna take like the Itadori and like take it home or something.
Oh my god.
They're gonna steal it.
But global parks becoming a trend. There's already a Naruto theme park in France that's open. Universal Studios Hollywood did Sailor Moon. This year they're doing One Piece. Which anime attraction should U.S. parks invest in?
You see, I am a little bit pro roller coaster. I don't know if I like the crazy like
Yeah.
we're gonna drop you 500 feet off a cliff.
I can
But
do a
like-
normal roller coaster,
like,
but when you
yeah,
start
like a
like
little-
adding 50,000 loop-de-loops and you have like a dead drop out of nowhere, and like if your stuff is starting to look like Phineas and Ferb, I don't want it. Because
Yeah.
I listen.
What I was thinking though is like, for example, with Dandadan, you know, the big chase scene early on in season 1
Oh,
where they're
yeah.
running away
Cool.
from
That'd
like
be really
Turbo
cool.
Granny,
Yeah.
and then they like jump onto like a subway and it's like speeding down and they're like racing to the edge.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that'd be really cool for like an interactive
Like 4D
like
kinda thing?
Yeah, 4D ride where it's just
Yeah.
kind of like simple and maybe a couple loop de loops, you know.
Yeah.
But like it could be like you riding on like Okarune's back with Momo or whatever, and there's like a guided tour and it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
fun. That would be cool.
That's like kind of fun.
Yeah, I would love to see, and maybe it's not a theme park, but like cells at work, like fully immersive at like the Perot Museum,
That'd
like
be
a,
so
like an
cool,
informative or like museum
That's
of
cool.
like science. Get it at the Smithsonian or
I'm
something.
not,
I
I'm
don't
not gonna
know.
hold you. I learned a lot from sales from work, bro. So I am totally down.
It's like
for that.
Magic School Bus, but more intense.
Yeah.
And I think that would be helpful. And
Yeah.
also, if we're gonna do a theme park, then I would love to see like and I'm biased here, but like a sports immersion, like a Blue Lock activation or a Haikyuu activation
For sports,
or
when I
Slam
was
Dunk.
like, why don't we get Kuroko's?
How many
Yeah.
volleyballs can you spike? Haikyuu.
Yeah, because I'm a sucker for those things at the end of museums, like the Gaelic Football Museum or the Gaelic Sports Museum in Dublin. Like that had so many fun things. I had no idea what I was doing with a hurling bat, but it was still really fun.
You're like, I don't know
So
what
give me
this
all
is.
that.
Guys, it's time. We have to have a Gundam. Some kind of Gundam.
Ooh.
VR, AR, 4D, something. Like, it is time. Like, we need that. Like,
Yeah.
I can
think
smell the
there's-
fake fog.
I think there's been something like that in Japan. It was either that or Evangelion that was kind of like, I don't remember. But I think that, like, that is probably my ultimate one. Is
Yeah.
like piloting a Gundam, like fighting Zaku's and
Gundam
Tall Geese.
Simulator.
And like, yeah, like I think that would be insanely cool to do, honestly. And just kind of off the cuff for Super Mario, they should have a Star Fox simulator.
All right, guys, it will not be long before Goku gives French food a go. What's he eating? A baguette?
Escar Goku.
A croissant? Escar. Elite joke.
my
So
God,
while
bro.
Dragon Ball gets to work on its new theme park, we're going to take a beat to break down what we are watching this week. Alex, would you like to kick us off?
I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to keep it straightforward. I'm watching Black Torch.
Light the torch!
I'm still
Light the torch!
on
Light
this
it.
show. It's exactly what I want and need. It's comfort food. It's fun. It's silly. It's the thing that I'm watching because I'm putting off watching the finale of Bleach. So this is like
Yeah.
the exact tone of a series that I want. Plus, I love the opening and ending. The opening in particular, shout out Sim for another banger, keeping the reggae vibes real and alive.
They
and
love
then
that.
big
They love
riffs.
a little,
They
like,
really do. They really do.
But
Yeah.
it's just everything about this show is like ramped up to 11 in the best way, and like we know that the story is already wrapped up in the manga, so it's keeping pace
Yeah.
and moving quickly, and I really like that about it. Like so much is happening in each episode that you don't typically see in like shonen titles like this, so I'm really appreciating it. It's on Crunchyroll. Watch it. It's fun. You won't regret it.
very cool. Lee?
I have decided to jump back into Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
Oh, you don't
yeah.
say.
You don't say.
You don't say.
I got Easter eggs everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. I started some new stuff this weekend and started watching some other stuff that I like really been tapped in. And I was playing Hades 2, and I was like, you know what? I just want to like just watch something I've already watched and, you know, just kind of like relive it and laugh at the same stuff. So I was like, Scott Pilgrim, because Science Saru's having such a moment right now
Yeah.
because they've got, you know, 2 shows out that are doing incredible between Ghost in the Shell and Jadagar.
They're killing.
So I was like, you know what? Why don't I go back and watch Scott Pilgrim? And I mean, the spot on animation between like, you know, comic and anime. And it's such a great watch. If you guys haven't watched it and you're fans of Scott Pilgrim, even if you're not fans of Scott Pilgrim, like it's definitely worth a watch. I mean, it's funny. The movie cast is actually all of the voice actors in the anime. So if you get some time, watch it, rewatch it. Scott Pilgrim Takes Off on Netflix.
Okay, so I have already seen this anime, but I'm rewatching because I haven't seen it in quite a few years. And shout out Kyle, editor-in-chief of Crunchyroll News, was telling me
Shout out
because
Kyle.
he was presenting an award this past weekend at the American Manga Awards, I believe it was, and he was chatting with the creator, and I was like, oh my gosh, because like many who have been brokenhearted by there not being a season 2 of this anime, I was like, it was just so influential to me, like even from my teen years, like going into this will be the 3rd time I've watched it through because there's only one season. If you're wanting to watch something that's like really short and then like just go read the manga after, Princess Jellyfish. Yeah, I think the subject matter. So essentially the story is about these girls that are living in this like defunct, broken down like apartment building, and there is like plans to essentially like tear it down for like developments and stuff. And the sibling of the like family that's trying to do this is actually like a cross-dresser who is like befriends one of the people living there and becomes like her idol kind of, as well as her friend, and like they grow this really strong like bond with each other and like learn to understand each other. There's a little bit of romance in there. It's just a really sweet story. So give it a watch. I started rewatching it because my roommate has not seen it. So yeah, very good.
I'll add those shows to my queue in a bit. But first, it's time to go through the news. Breaking. Kind of breaking.
Almost
it's relatively new because this is super exciting for all you One Piece heads out there. One Piece anime will have 2 movies coming out soon. God Valley film, which is set to release in summer 2027, and Bad film. It's going to be a good film despite that name. In 2029, celebrating the manga anniversary next year and the anime anniversary 30 years in 2029. Plus, we got a bunch of updates on live action season 3 because it was One Piece Day this past weekend.
That's right.
So there was a lot going on, but those major updates were the 2 films and a lot of cast announcements for season 3 of the live action moving into Alabasta. So you can check out the full list of cast announcements on Crunchyroll News.
That's right.
And you can check out right here for us being super excited about 2 movies. I've loved what they've done with kind of the... I know God Valley is a flashback, so that will be canon, but Bad, I'm assuming, is kind of that same non-canon element. We'll see. But the way they've been tying those into the series and working it into the other things around One Piece, like the card game and figures, I mean, you couldn't look anywhere without seeing Uta like a couple years ago once Film Red came out.
Uta was everywhere.
So I'm super excited for this. I have no idea what's coming because I haven't gotten to God Valley in the series yet, but this is crazy. 2 movies.
Here's to me catching up before either of those movies come out.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
My One Piece journey is still continuing. Speaking of journeys continuing, we have our live action Kakashi, y'all. Charles Milton is in talks with Destin Daniel Cretton and Lionsgate to play Kakashi in the Naruto live action. He may also be joining Marvel's X-Men. Who knows?
They like to go full circle with all that.
They do.
He's ingested into the ecosystem.
Yes, but Milton recently received an Emmy nomination for Beef Season 2 and drew some acclaim for May, December. I'm in love with the casting because I think, like, listen, we've already established this because we talked about Spider-Man a little bit. Dustin Daniel Cretton knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let him cook.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not like, and not to say that Charles Milton isn't an incredible actor, because he is.
From what I understand, he's in talks to play. That he hasn't been confirmed. Right?
You know what? He's in talks, but it's leaning to where it's like
to that.
Yeah.
He's a little moggy for Kakashi. Do you know what I mean? He's a little bit like, you know,
But
he's a little
Kakashi
bit
has
like
Got
Frey
great
Moggy.
jawline.
I don't know much about him as an actor, so I'm very open to. I think a lot of people give like gut reactions to castings too much weight. So I want to see a trailer before I make any sort of judgment.
Yeah, we're a little ways out, and I think the casting for this is great.
I'm most excited to find out who they cast for Orochimaru, and will it be David Dastmalchian? I don't know.
Yes, just cast that man, okay? Like, just
It would make sense.
I mean, listen, he's already like
famous creepy creepy guy.
he's already voicing the Riddler.
Complimentary.
He's Mr.
Yeah, parentheses
Mr.
complimentary.
3. He's gonna be M. Bison in Street Fighter this year. Like, listen, just give David Dastmalchian Orochimaru. Just give it to him.
Please.
With love, the anime of it.
We still don't know how Naruto will look in the live action, but I do know this. The wigs are going to go hard.
Yep.
And not to be confused with having a hard wig, which is a negative thing. The wigs are going to go hard. They're going to be great. The anime news did not come to play this week, and somehow we're still left with half of it on the cutting room floor. There's a lot of stuff that if you guys are still wanting to get informed on the anime news of the week, make sure you check out Crunchyroll News. They're working hard over there to bring you the latest and greatest. So all the links that we mentioned will be in the description below. But if you haven't gotten your fill, go check it out.
Guys, This is a pivotal moment for me, probably for a lot of you out there in the internet, as it were. Our guest today is a creator behind one of the most influential comics of the last 20 years. He is the brain behind Scott Pilgrim, Seconds, and a personal deep cut favorite for a lot of comic fans, Snot Girl. His work has jumped from comics to film to video games and, of course, anime. Now he's returning to the world of Scott Pilgrim after 16 long years with a special new comic titled Dawn of Metal Scott. If you guys haven't guessed by now, we have Brian Lee O'Malley in the house at the Anime Effect. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, guys. How are you? How's the heat over there?
It's
bad.
Awful.
It's not good.
I literally am just melting and wilting at all times
Yes,
of the day.
we are baking and melting and wilting.
Podcasters got it rough in the heat.
Yeah.
No AC on for you guys.
I know.
Yeah, so bad, so bad. We're going to go ahead and jump in, and excuse me if we're all jumbled and excited over here, especially me. I want to take you back to Jumbo Video in the mid-90s. You're renting anime there. Your sister's watching Sailor Moon on YTV, and before long you find yourself drawing your own anime characters. Do you remember your gateway anime that inspired you to be a fan of both the medium and become an artist?
Well, as you guys know, we used to have video stores where you would go rent a video.
I know. I say it every day.
Yeah, Jumbo Video was kind of like a local chain in Southern Ontario where I grew up. And they would have like a rent three deal. I can't remember. It's hard to remember exactly what it was, but I think 2 out of the 3 that I rented the very first time were Ranma 1/2 and Record of Lodoss War. I mean, I was a big fantasy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't think anyone said those as their gateways.
And there was a third one. It might have been Akira. It might have been something else. Yeah. It's a long time. It's 30 years ago at this point. So
Wow.
yeah, Ranma hit me like right in like the comedy. Like it was kind of like my first love of anime.
Yeah.
And then Lodoss War was just kind of like so beautiful and so contemplative, and like the character designs are so cool. And then you mentioned Sailor Moon. I actually looked this up the other day, like, because I'm like, when was that? It was playing 5 days a week, starting right around this time of year, which is August. We're recording, and so like by October they had run like all 40 episodes of the first series, and over the course of that, I went from being like, this is kind of like a silly show, to being like, oh, this is amazing.
So I mean, I feel like that was the thing for a lot of people, like with anime, like as we were growing up, is like, this is kind of goofy. Like, we don't know what this is. Like, we're so used to like, Western cartoons being so different, and then anime comes into the picture, and we're like, oh, this is weird. We don't know what this is, and then we're like, oh, we love this. But please, more of this.
100%.
You talked about dismissing Sailor Moon initially at first because it was, quote, for girls when your sister began watching it, only for you to, as you just discussed, get completely sucked into it. What did Sailor Moon give teen Brian that the comics and cartoons made for boys were missing out on?
Sailor Moon, partly because it was running 5 days a week, we were getting fed a lot of story really quickly. So at first it really felt like it was just a monster of the week kind of thing, girly, pink, and, just generic stuff. And then after like 2-3 weeks in, it's like, the first villain gets dispatched, and then the second guy, has this like super intense like love affair with Sailor Moon's best friend, and it's such a departure from anything I'd seen in a cartoon before. Like, it became like really romantic, really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And this is only like it's like episode 20 or something out of 40, I think, in the season. But it's like it evolved constantly. The story was constantly evolving. Like, she meets all her friends over the course of those 40 episodes, and the dumb stuff just becomes like I don't know, this interesting, beautiful, like magical world that you get to sink into. And the millions of episodes kind of like helps you just sink into it.
Wow.
Love Sailor Moon, especially because like as you continue to watch Sailor Moon, you discover how powerful of a character she actually is.
She's OP. She's OP.
Yeah.
But you are apparently obsessed with Nana as well, which is one of my favorites. So talk about romance, drama, all of that packed in. And this was while drafting your first go at Scott Pilgrim. So looking back now, can you point to anything in like Scott, Ramona, or even like in the series like band dynamics where you can see Ai Yazawa's influence?
Nana was huge for me. It wasn't coming out in English yet at the time. And I know a little bit of French because my dad's French Canadian. So I started reading French volumes that I found at the comic store, The Beguiling in Toronto, where I used to work. And eventually it got to where I was getting volumes of Nana instead of getting paid for the job. He would pay me in Nana volumes. But yeah, again, like it's so intense, way more intense than Sailor Moon. But the main thing is like it was about people in their 20s, which I had never really seen before. Almost all anime is kind of like, you know, they're 17 years old. Like that's kind of why I did the joke with Knives Chow being 17 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
It was like every single anime protagonist is 17 years old. Like no matter if they're the world's greatest detective or whatever, it's like they're always just a teenager. So I just thought it was really cool and different that they explored kind of more of a real setting, like an urban setting, people in their 20s, people in bands, people in love, in and out of love and hate. So it was just it reflected my life at the time, and I wanted to kind of carry that on to Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, I can definitely feel that energy
Yeah, same.
flowing throughout it.
You've also changed my perspective on life. I'm now going to demand to be paid in volumes and Blu-rays.
I mean, let's be real. If we had any kind of part-time job as like kids, they were going
They
to
would
like
it was
anime
going to
and
that
manga
anyway,
like anyway. So
Yeah, no,
totally
yeah. The
makes
very first job I ever had was I got a job at the library just so I could afford to buy Street Fighter 2 for Super Nintendo.
Hell yeah.
Respect.
Hell yeah.
That is so iconic.
I love it. Of course, news dropped this year that you're returning to Scott Pilgrim after nearly 2 decades. You said when you agreed to make the one shot, it didn't immediately register that this would be your first Scott story in 16 years. Was there a specific moment when it suddenly hit you, wait, I'm actually drawing Scott again?
It pretty much hit me in waves like every step of the process. It's just a process that I hadn't really dove into in, 16 years. So I started, just jotting down ideas. I started scripting and every step of the way I was like, oh, this is so familiar. This feels like so right. And yeah, by the time I was drawing, penciling and inking and kind of like referencing the old volumes to be like, oh, where did they sit in that sushi restaurant scene, and stuff like that. It just felt very warm and inviting. And I really had a great time drawing it.
That's so interesting. Like the concept of referencing your own art as a reference.
It's very meta and it's very cool at the same time.
I mean, I have to. Like, honestly, the fans are more on it than I am. Like, I don't stare at it all day, but like, when I have to draw something now, I'm like, I better check because if I get if I get the belt wrong, someone's going to call it out.
Or they'll accidentally start like some other theory. You know what I mean?
God.
Like,
Yeah.
they changed the setting here, so
Yeah.
does that mean this? Like, you're gonna get a whole bunch of like unintentional fan theories.
Right.
Right.
Everyone becomes internet detectives once an
Yeah.
artist changed something one time.
It's very tied into the musical theme too of bands who write albums and then don't play those songs for a while, and you have to go back and be like, how did I write this song
Yep.
again? What was I thinking when I was in the studio on this one?
Totally.
As you mentioned, it's been a while since you revisited Scott, and you were obviously a little bit closer to his age when you were creating the story. So more than 20 years on, which Scott Pilgrim character do you understand completely differently now than you did when you first created them?
Ooh.
Oh, that is a good question. Although I'm probably not going to have as good of an answer as the question is. I don't know. I mean, so I made a whole series that kind of got to explore other facets that I had never really thought of when I was 25. But I guess it's pretty much Ramona has to be the one, right? Like, I just kind of feel like I keep unpacking more and more of Ramona. There's always more to discover about her. Where I explored Scott's psyche pretty thoroughly in the book series, but other characters definitely still had some unplumbed depths.
Well, I mean, we'll talk about it later, but you bring up Ramona, and I think that was probably my favorite part of Scott Pilgrim Takes Off is that the main character shifted very quickly, and it became Ramona, and you're learning about all of this stuff. Like, around her, and it was very, very cool.
Sure, yeah. So the official tease for Scott Pilgrim x Dawn of Metal Scott says that things could have happened across, quote, various media formats, and that may or may not be canon. So at this point, do you wonder or worry about what counts, like, officially as Scott Pilgrim canon?
I don't worry about canon as much as the fans do.
I feel called out.
It's kind of like a little cheeky nod to them. Well, for me, like, canon is the books pretty much, because the books tell a complete story. And then we did this anime series, and that kind of tells like a alternate story of the same story. And then, we have this new video game, Scott Pilgrim EX or X, is telling a new story, but it's I don't know if that's canon. I mean, it's a video game and it's fun and it's different, but I just don't understand like how canon fits in to the wider world of like the various projects. And then there's also the just sort of the business realities of like, things come out from different companies and you're like, they don't want me to talk about the other product from the other company. So it's a little tricky to navigate. So I just kind of like hand wave a little bit and just say, canon. It's all canon.
In my mind, it's like, if it didn't come from you, maybe then it's not the canon. You know what I mean?
Unfortunately, that's kind of where we end up. Like, I'm the only arbiter, which is it's a lot of pressure.
If you had to draw a through line to the Scott Pilgrim series,
Pepe Silvia.
Yeah.
It's always funny.
You have to tell people, like, this is the order that you watch, read, play. What is your official Brian Lee O'Malley canon line?
I mean, I hate to, give out rules. I don't like telling people what to do. I see the discussion now and then that's just like, oh, you're watching the anime first, like, oh, you're screwing up big time. But like, I don't feel that way. Like, I tried to make the show accessible to where you could watch it and have a good time, and then if you like it, there's 6 whole books to read. There's all this stuff to check out. So I can see fans' point. Like, if you're watching the anime, you're kind of like missing the referential qualities of it, maybe. But in my mind, like, it's fine to discover things in the wrong order. Like, that's kind of so much of my youth was just as a kid. Like, there's no DVD sets of TV shows or whatever. There's no streaming. So it's like I would watch like one episode. I would miss 6 episodes and I would just watch the next one and try to figure it out.
Piece it together.
So I think like that's part of my development. Yeah. And I don't mind it being kind of like a jumble for people.
And I think that counts for a lot of us of a certain vintage, because like you're right, like we didn't have streaming, we had to go rent, we had to find it on like cable access or whatever. And a lot of what we watched was so out of order, and we basically were just watching what we could get. So that makes sense. So I'll let you slide. I'll let you slide. We did talk about Scott EX, and it adds a lot of series lore and just adds a lot to the universe. And I am totally obsessed with both of the Scott video games. It is not pictured in studio, but I do have the collector's edition,
literally front and center right
first
here.
video game, and my personal collection here. There is something coming for Scott Pilgrim EX, correct? Something new?
Mm-hmm. There is. It's coming out literally between recording and release of this episode, which is not a long time. And I haven't told anyone. So let me see. How am I going to talk about this?
It pulls out PR.
We have a new DLC coming for Scott Pilgrim EX, and also a free update. So there's 2 things coming.
Ooh.
They're not gigantic things. They're pretty small things, but we are adding 3 characters to the game.
Whoa!
You might guess which
That's
3.
actually very exciting.
But it's Steven Stills, Knives Chow, and Kim Pine.
Whoa!
Nice.
This is huge.
So we spent a lot of time making them really cool, and I think they're they're new and they're fun and they're just really beautiful to look at. Got great Paul Robertson animation.
Yeah, incredible animation.
And there's also a general update coming that's free for everyone that adds a new game mode that's like an arcade mode where you can kind of try to be your high score, multiplayer, a whole bunch of stuff. So I think it'll add a lot of fun to the game. The game came out a few months ago, and I think it's still got a lot of life in it. So I'm excited for people to be able to play the new game.
That's so exciting.
I agree. I am quite the sucker for like just beat 'em ups and like beat 'em up like RPG combinations in general. So I'm like really excited that like, and I love, I don't know why, but I love Steven Still. So it's like, I'm like really excited.
A good old arcade mode. You can never go wrong.
Oh yeah. 1000%. 1000%.
Okay. So of course we have to talk about Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. So you were already a huge fan of Science Sorrow, which, by the way, everybody in this room
is a Science Sorrow household.
We sing the praises of
coat.
Science Sorrow literally at every opportunity. So you also said that you particularly like Devilman Crybaby. So once you finally handed over your own work to the Science Sorrow team, what was the first thing that they did with Scott Pilgrim that made you think, oh, I would have never thought to do that?
I remember the moment that we first saw their designs, their kind of like world building-y designs. We had added this scene with Gideon in the first episode, like to kind of set up the evil X's. I did this like Sailor Moon style like villain scene where like the sub villain goes to the main villain in their lair, and then so they designed Gideon's lair, which ended up being this like triangular like room full of television screens, and he's watching Scott's whole life unfold. And just the way they did that, like me and Ben David, my co-producer, like we just kind of like freaked out, and we were just like so ecstatic over that. They really just applied all their like genius, like anime studio know-how to like this, what I see as a dumb little indie comic. So it was really beautiful, magical moment to see all that kind of start coming to life in that new way.
Wow, that's so cool. I wish I could have been in the room to like watch you guys geek out over that. That sounds so cool.
Yeah, it was like, since we made it during the pandemic, it was kind of like we didn't get a lot of that in-person stuff, but that was one moment where they came to LA and like we were all in the same like conference room, and it was just like we were just freaking out, like thing after thing they would show us. We were just like, this is so cool.
Dude, yeah, that's awesome.
So by the time we see Scott Pilgrim Takes Off debut, we've seen Scott become a movie, a couple of video games. Why did you feel that anime was the medium where you could explore Scott in a new way?
For me, it was mostly working with Science Saru, like knowing that they are so interesting and like kind of always pushing the envelope.
Yes.
It was right after they had done Devilman Crybaby, which you mentioned, which is like such a totally different, unique take on Devilman, like modernizing it, but not in a destructive way, just kind of like an interesting new iteration. So I really wanted to do something like that with Scott Pilgrim, and I thought they were just the best possible fit. And they inspired me to just want to write something totally weird and new and unique, just to kind of like live up to their reputation. Like I thought it would be a waste to do something that people had already seen before. And I was like, let's just go crazy and make something totally wild and new. And, it's like, you can like it or not like it, but that's where we went. And we had fun with it.
It is a very fun series. I think that the thing that caught me off guard, I think it's like episode 2, I guess, where they're talking about Ramona, and he's like, oh yeah, she works for Netflix DVD rental. Yeah. And I was like, my God.
Wait. So crazy. I remember receiving Netflix DVDs in the mail.
Yeah. Just
we might still have some. I don't know.
I know I do. I know I have some somewhere. I'm not, you know what? Netflix don't come from me.
I mean, that's got to be so exciting too, to work with a partner that inspires you creatively to push your own boundaries. Like that's kind of the dream artistic scenario, I can imagine.
It truly was. Yeah, it was for sure the best job I've ever had. I haven't had that many jobs because I'm usually self-employed, but for a job, like I had to go into work every day, and it was like I was having the time of my life, and everything they sent us for 2 years was like perfect, and and then on top of that, we get to work with all these amazing actors. We even had we had Will Forte, and just like going into work and like hearing them, say funny stuff and just feeding them lines and cracking up. It's like, I'll probably never get to do that again, but I had a really good time.
That was also like, because I love the movie, and that was like such a big, like, it just freaking out in my house moment when you figure out the cast for the anime is also the movie cast. And you're like, this is incredible. Like, and it starts like your mind starts clicking after that, right? Because you're like, it's all connected, everything's connected. So that board comes out and I'm putting strings on it.
For sure. Yeah, but it's you know what the strings are? Love. The strings are love, man. We all like still love each other, and it's like we loved that experience making the movie, and with Edgar Wright, and I still hang out with him all the time, and it's just it's really nice to have that kind of like thread connecting us all.
Oh, man.
I feel like that kind of connection is it gets more and more rare every day. And so that's super cool to hear, like, the actual creative force behind everything does have that connection, because that's what I look like, or what I look for in my media that I consume is like, was this made with like everybody involved really caring about it?
Yeah.
And you can definitely sense that in that project.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Even 20 years ago when I went into this process the first time, it's like didn't really expect to get that kind of like love and respect from Hollywood. Like, it was not kind of the norm back then to do a faithful adaptation in any way. And, and to still kind of be friends with them is just really, really speaks to the power of Edgar Wright and his like the happiness he brought to the set and to everyone's lives.
I love Edgar Wright so much. He's such a brilliant creative. And when I saw he was, doing the movie, I was like, oh man, this is going to be incredible. Like it was...
Yeah.
It's great.
He's such a positive force, and he's so happy, and like I'm a big grump, and like I always have been, So like next to him, like he's just like the sunshine, and I'm like the shadows. But like, we always got along great.
You guys even each other out. It's fine.
Yeah. We're somewhere at twilight, right?
On that note of kind of keeping things going and having that kind of full circle moment, you created Scott Pilgrim by melding Japanese manga into a Canadian indie comic. Then 20 years later, a Japanese studio adapted that comic into anime. Did watching Science Saru animate the series feel like a creative loop was finally closing?
It did make me feel like I was in my teens again. Like when I first got into anime, and kind of flash back to that era of my life. When I first kind of like was getting into fandom and anime, Japanese stuff. Yeah, I felt a little like guilty because I was mostly drawing back on that time of my life, like the 90s, and I don't watch as much anime like of the last decade like as I used to, but like, maybe Scott Pilgrim Takes Off felt a bit like a throwback for that reason.
So, of course, we have to talk about some of the projects you're working on outside of Scott Pilgrim. Years ago, you described Worst World as having, quote, less video games and more anime. So is the, quote, more anime side of it, is that part still true? And then has your history with anime over the last decade changed what that means for the project overall?
Yeah, I don't remember how long ago I would have said that, because I'm sure I worked out some of the anime in the anime that I did. So, but yeah, no, I actually am writing it right now, and it does feel like that description. Because I feel like I used up most of my video game references in Scott Pilgrim. It's just like I literally have nothing else unless I do the same ones over and over.
The video game
so
well
like
dry.
I might as well keep that in Scott Pilgrim, and then this other thing is just a little more wacky action and less specifically video game coded, but I'm sure there's still going to be like a ton of video game stuff. Yeah, I took a long break off that book during the pandemic and during making the anime and making the new video game. So now I'm back on it and I'm really excited for it. And I don't want to talk about it too much because I talked about it way too early. And now every time I post anything, fans are like, where's Worst World?
Where is it?
And more power to them. They should say that. They should hold my feet to the fire. But I'm working on it.
Yeah, I'm still really excited for that one. And it's funny because we were in our production meeting, and I was like, "Wait, I haven't heard of this one in a long time." And I looked it up, and the first link I ran into was a Reddit post, and it was like, "Where is Worst World?" I'm like, "Guys,
They're biting at the bit
yeah.
for it.
guys."
To be fair, like, yeah, I think we announced it 10 years ago. So it's like,
Yeah.
But you know what? You know what I keep wanting to say to fans? You can't unannounce a book. Like, there's no way I can take that back. Like, so for the next 10 years, and no one listens when I like explain what's going on with it. They just like, they're like, where is it?
Yeah.
So I get it. I totally get it. And I'm, once it's out, I'll show it to everyone.
You're like, "Guys, I have so much other stuff I've done. Please just go look at that. Please give me some time."
Points to wall
Right,
of accomplishments.
Right. Yeah, I worked on the anime show for 2 years, and then the next day, everyone's like, "Well, where's Worst World? Aren't you working on that at the same time?"
You're
It's like,
free, right?
I didn't have time while working on the show. It literally took every minute of my waking life.
And you're like, "Also, we're in like a global crisis." Like,
Yeah, there's all that too.
Yeah, here we go, loud and clear.
This is a bit of a rapid fire one. I'm giving you a completely irresponsible casting question.
Oh boy.
Name one anime character you'd love to see completely demolish the League of Evil X's.
Oh, like greatest anime battles type question. I'm trying to. Now I'm like looking up at my art books, like what anime characters would be good for that. I'm so bad at these questions, though.
I feel like Devilman could maybe do it.
I mean, but Devilman's too rated R. Like, he doesn't really fit in the Scott Pilgrim universe.
He'll up the rating
too many
bit.
boobies. I mean, I think lots of like kind of Sailor Moon villains would be great. I don't know. I do love a good villain. And I think my villains in Scott Pilgrim were a little underdeveloped, kind of intentionally, kind of comedically underdeveloped. Like, who is this idiot? Let's just kill him. But yeah, I love stuff like Naruto that just like really develops all its heroes and villains, and you kind of like come to understand all of their motivations. So it's really hard for me to pick someone.
I honestly think that's one of my favorite parts about Scott Pilgrim is that you can tell that there's so much stuff about the League of Evil X's that you just don't know, and you're having to like put the story together like through the battles and through subcontext and through like Wallace like being like Scott's fight manager, like all this stuff.
It's got to be a little showy. Yeah.
So it's got to be a little bit like I guess ambiguous for a lot of the characters, so you can kind of make up your own mind.
Well, it's also like it's a comedic premise, so it's like it's silly to have a League of Evil X's, right? Like inherently, and
everyone's
that's kind of
got
like that's what we explored in the anime, with them having like a big team meeting. Like, what do we do now? Like, which I just found that really funny to explore. What is the psychology behind these villains? Why would they agree to this plan? What were they going to do if they won?
Right.
Like, only one of them could actually date Ramona, I guess. And like, why would she even want to date them if they killed her boyfriend? And like, it's like it opens a whole can of worms.
That scene very much gave me like the old school like Justice League like 80s cartoon where the Legion of Doom is just like sitting around just being like comedically menacing, and it's like you guys know your plan is very underbaked. And that's what that scene felt like. It's just their very underbaked plan. Gideon is just like, I have money and like I have resources and I'll just give you this thing.
Yeah, it's a throwback to that kind of thing, which is what I grew up with, and down to Sailor Moon, down to like all those late 90s anime that I loved. But the villains are always such a huge part of it, and I thought that was like one of the core things about anime to me. So that was one of the core things we did in Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
I have another question. So if you were to be able to hand, teen Brian exactly one anime, knowing what you know now about anime, the ones you've seen since then, from like the last 5 years to binge, what are you sending him?
5 years? Oh, maybe it's a little too, maybe it's more than 5 years, but keep your hands off Eizouken.
Oh,
That's
another
a fun
Science
one.
Saru show.
It's a fun
because it was so about the making of anime and about like the enthusiasm and like being young and excited, being a teenager. I thought that really captured the power of anime like in such a special way.
Yeah,
Wow.
I totally agree.
Yeah, I can see
That's
that.
a fun one.
I just see adult Brian just stepping out of a time portal and like, watch this, and then just leaving, no context, just leaving.
Right.
It just gets left like on the bookshelf.
Yeah. I mean, also Teen Brian loved. I was a teen when Evangelion started, so like that was kind of like that was like the like when Nirvana came out, like the music world, like it just like changed everything. So. If Teen Brian could watch the final rebuild of Evangelion, he would be very excited.
I think we got to go out on this one. Anime shaped the artists that you've become. Now there are fans discovering anime through Scott Pilgrim, which again, another kind of full circle moment. What do you hope they find in the series that you once found in shows like Sailor Moon, Ranma 1/2, and the other 90s anime from Jumbo Video?
I feel like they find it no matter what. Like people find what they need from anime. It's probably evolved a lot. Like it's become much bigger, more central to our culture. Like when I was a kid, it was very much outside of the mainstream, and I think it still is to some degree. You know, people who who feel like they can't fit in their local culture, like might discover this thing like from the other side of the world, and it's exciting and enchanting, and it's this whole other universe that they never thought of. So to me, like that kind of like collapsing the distance between the foreign, almost alien culture and being like, oh, like I see myself in these characters. Like this character is an idiot, just like me. whatever you happen to be, I'm the idiot. But like, I think the characters are really what endures over time.
That's canon to me. That answer is canon.
That answer
true
is
canon.
I'm always happy to contribute to canon.
That is Anime Effect canon.
But thank you so much for hanging out with us. This was so
much fun.
Like we are all like such true fans of, Scott Pilgrim et al. But Brian, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Where can the people find everything you're working on right now?
Let's see. Scott Pilgrim, the book's still available in bookstores and comic stores worldwide, I think. Scott Pilgrim takes off. The anime series is on Netflix, but it's also on a Blu-ray. And then Scott Pilgrim EX, the new video game from Tribute Games, is out on all platforms. And the new DLC, which is called Back in the Band, is coming out on Thursday, August 27th.
Hell yeah. Woo! Everybody go check that out. If you are just, tuning into this for the first time and you were like living on the moon or something and don't know what Scott Pilgrim is, make sure that you do all the things, check it out, because it's truly amazing. For more with Brian, check out Snot Girl as well.
Incredible book.
Hidden gem.
Listen, look at me. All of you need to read Snot Girl. It is so good. Please.
We'll have all the links below to everything we mentioned here. So yeah, definitely check it out. You want to take us out, Lee?
Yes. Thank you so much, Brian. This was incredible. And you are now a friend of the show.
Yeah.
Welcome back anytime.
I'm glad to be. I wish I was there in person next time.
Next time, for sure. Absolutely. All right, Lee. What do we got for the people?
It's fan service, y'all.
About time.
Yeah. Thank you. Somebody here knows ball. This week, we visited Apple Podcasts for questions, and our friend Eli7629 is making us put our thinking caps on with this one. They say, I love the show, and I love looking forward to hearing the intro. My anime question is, which show would you like to get an original movie made for? Now, hold on. Are we talking like live action, or are we just talking like original, like anime movie?
I think like a one-off that stands out from the season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I feel like an original movie, like that means no source material, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily.
Yeah, sometimes
mean it's not
they retroactively make it canon.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have one on deck?
I've got one. I've been talking about this show pretty much every time I've been on the show for a while. Give me a Grand Blue Dreaming movie.
Oh, no, that's not where I thought you were going. Wow.
It's so silly. They could have so much fun doing that. They're like relatively low stakes. They could just be them like going to another island for diving training again, kind of like what we're seeing in season 3. But it could just be so fun and ridiculous in the best way. And I think that would make me really happy without any sort of like doubts or like, oh, well, that doesn't seem like it really fits with the confines of the show or the power systems, which some movies can do. So I think something really slice of life like that, and also something that reminds me of Pineapple Express anyway, could work really
A
well
whole
in
mission.
movie format.
I think another one, I love a movie that has music. Like we saw this was like One Piece film Red, like
Yeah.
with Otto that did like all of those amazing songs that like stand out. Like even if you're not like a One Piece fan, like those songs go so hard. So I want to say something like, I don't know, like that has potential to have like dramatic aspects, but can still have like a soundtrack. So maybe like Oshinoko.
Ooh.
That could be fun because it's just you could do just like a standout acting mission of theirs, or like they do a musical or something like that because they've already done play.
Right.
So maybe something like that. I also want to say Skate the Infinity because that is an original anime, so they
Yeah.
can really take liberties there, and it could actually be part of the canon. But what about you, Lee?
I have two really quick ones, and quick because they fit into the same genre. Campfire Cooking. Ooh. And Delicious in Dungeon. Like, I would love for one of those to get a, like, side dungeon, side story mission, whatever. Mostly because, like, I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, man, I want to really rewatch Campfire Cooking because I absolutely have so much fun with that show. And then I've already seen, like, Delicious in Dungeon, like, 3 times, like, all the way through, and I'm like, I just need more. Give me more. Please.
Yeah. Get Carmi from the Bear Isekai into one of those worlds.
Yes.
Oh my
Please.
gosh, has Chicago ever been featured in an anime?
I know Charlotte, North Carolina has.
Yeah, weirdly enough.
In what?
I can't even remember what show. I just remember that like screenshot
Yeah.
going viral.
Well, I remember Washington, D.C. That was the last time I was on. I was like watching Eden of the East. I have to try not to say East of Eden. It took place in like Washington, D.C. So that's the only like weird other like American location I've ever seen an anime set.
Great call out though. With the bear, I just started watching it. We'll talk later.
All right, our review roulette needs some new victims. I mean, opinions. Mostly.
Wow.
Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you're willing to, defend a hot take you've got, and we may just debate it on the show. So you can send us your anime questions at got.cr/anime effect questions. That's got.cr/anime effect questions. Or you can just drop us a comment on Spotify or Apple Music.
And now that I know that you know what this means, are you ready to take us out, Chef?
Yes, I am.
Yes, what?
Yes, Chef.
There we
See?
go.
He's watching. I can verify that he's watching.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of The Anime Effect brought to you by Crunchyroll. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
The Anime Effect is hosted by me, Leah President, as well as Leah Alec Murray and Alex Level, aka the one that stole Nick's soul. Are we saying soul or just his life?
His social security number for sure.
His social security number.
He definitely Shang Tsung Nick is what happened.
Yeah, he's cashing in on that. The show is executive produced by me, Leah President, and Nick Friedman. Well, is it still? It's I guess Alex Lowe. I'm just kidding. Our showrunner is Megan Peters, and our marketing producer is Carlos Solorzano. And as always, a special thanks to Sean Michael Colon for editing and mixing this
Regular
episode,
Sean.
aka Regular Sean.
We'll be back next Friday with more anime goodness, and there's not a single thing you can do about it.
Ooh, he got it. He got it. Later days, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.